to Mr. Randy's Wine and Spirits. I am Mr. Randy, and today we're going to be doing another full review. If you're new to the channel, hello, welcome. Come on in, have a seat, and let's get to know each other. All my returning viewers, you know how we do, so let's get on it. Today we're going to be doing a full review of Greenall's The Original London Dry Gin. Handcrafted by England's oldest gin distillery since 1761. That's a long time. Product of Great Britain. Yes, it is Great Britain. Britann, if you're stupid fancy. 43% alcohol by volume. On the back, I'll let that sit for just a moment. For over 250 years. That's a long time. Okay, all that. Government warning. Of course, that's got to be in there. Bottled distilleries warranted in Great Britain. Brands are produced from 100% grain neutral spirit. I know some people do have sort of feelings for that. Well, I can tell you right now, spoiler alert, this is a good one. So there is listed a total of 8 botanicals, which is relatively general and basic for the gin. The London Dry Gin, again, if you don't know, London Dry Gin is a gin that's produced without adding anything extra beyond the filtration part, because gin is just like vodka. Once the mash has been distilled, it passes through a filter of media, which consists of a whole bunch of botanicals, berries, flowers, nuts, sort of things like that help give it this oh so wonderful smell and flavor as well. But let's do the rundown for the new people. So this is part 2 of the full review for Mr. Randy's 3-part series that he does in a review, but let's take 2 steps back for the one. Actually, I miscounted. 1 step back. Off the rip, get it home, crack it open, pour it in a glass, put it in the mouth, and then I share my first impressions with you because you're special. You really are special. Part 2, where we're at today, is called the full review. When we get to here-ish, I stop. Hopefully I stop. Hopefully I can stop, if it depends on how good it is. I then leave whatever's left in the bottle for a week, maybe 2, depends, can't promise anything. But then we come back, we go to the internet, we get all the information, or as little as possible, whatever we can find. We'll scrape it up, we'll throw it in the bucket, we'll bring it back over here to you, share it with you, and hopefully, we won't even say it. We're not going to say it anymore. 10 minutes just isn't a thing anymore. It's not a thing. Tell me how you feel about the 10-minute barrier being broken quite often by Mr. Randy here at Mr. Randy Wine and Spirits. Part 3, all the way down here, very sad time indeed, when we do what's called the final pour. We have the final pour, and we compare it to the first pour and everything in between. So here we are. This is that. Turned out to be a very nice one. This comes from the G&J distilleries out of the UK, 1761. So the lady that leads this, her name is Joanne. Lovely woman. Thank you, Joanne. Cheers. This is a very wonderful gin. I got this bottle, this $7.50 standard, out the door for less than $22, just under $22. There are 3 other expressions. There's a green, there's a blue, there's a pink, and then there's a black, I think. But I don't think I've seen the black on the shelves anywhere near me. I think that's like a higher end premium deal, which I don't know why they would have it, but hey. So this is a 43% alcohol by volume. On the nose, instantly, immediately, citrus. Like orange peel and spice. Orange and spice, oh so nice. That is such a strong, but not too strong. It really lets you know it's in the room. It's very nice. And boy, does it carry well with some tonic. Let's go ahead. I'm salivating. I'm trying to get to it. Let's go ahead and get it on the first palate out of the way. Now, once again, I will say that the only time I drink gin neat is for these reviews. I want to give a straight, raw, unfiltered, uncut version of the spirit. Because if it can't hack it this way, it's not going to do any better coming out in a gin and tonic. That tonic water can really work magic, bringing some characters out, but if it don't start out pretty good, it ain't no helping it. Let's go ahead and get that second one on there. Now, I do say citrus as an orange, but it is actually listed as a Spanish lemon. Now, tell me if you know, does a Spanish lemon smell and taste like an orange? Because even though it's smacking me in the face with lemon, it's a Spanish lemon, I get lemon zest, okay, but citrus, like orange zest, I think comes across a little more. It may be other things like the Moroccan coriander, or the almonds. They say there's almonds in here. I can get that sort of like, you know, that sort of bitter, kind of somewhat sourness that you get from like almonds. I definitely taste that in here. It's kind of hard to pick things apart because it is so nice. The palate is relatively well balanced. The citrus, the coriander, the almond, I can definitely feel that almond, taste that almond on the back end. Let's go ahead and get that finish on. Ooh, wait. Again, you know, this might be possibly a good candidate for soda instead of tonic, because all these characters and flavors are so intense, and it's a 43%, so it kind of boosts it a little bit. It might actually do pretty well in a soda. If you don't care for tonic, but you care for soda, this might be an optional choice for soda. I don't drink soda because it's flat and undesirable. The soda, it's like I said, it's not very sweet. It's just kind of bland. I think it robs the spirit, the gin, of anything it's boosting, and it's not boosting, it's actually negating, it's actually subtracting. Tonic water, on the other hand, actually improves, it positively amplifies all these characters. On the finish, there is lots of that citrus. Now, it does seem a little more like the lemon. Maybe that's just psychosomatical. Maybe I'm just saying it, and then my brain's like, okay, yeah, sure. The coriander, definitely. The almond-ish. The almond is kind of an ishy right now. But it is kind of there. If you think about it, I eat almonds. They're really good for a lot of health reasons. I eat about a handful of almonds a day. And it kind of does have that sort of back end, dry, sort of like bitter sort ofness to it. And it's actually nice. You get used to it. Acquired tastes and all. So the finish is pretty good. The cheeks are getting the vast majority of the effects. Like the cheeks are still like, they're dropping down from a 3, so now they're like a 2. The heat on the back end is dissipating from the 2. Not a whole lot of that kind of action going on, but the intensity is sort of, I don't know, justified by the length of it. So it's intense, but not super intense, but it hangs on. The cheeks are still hanging on. The cheeks is where everything is sitting at. The cheeks are still hanging in there. I'm trying to work it, see if it goes anywhere else. There's nothing in the gums. The tongue barely got anything. It's just like it flashed with flavor, and then it went right to the sides, to the cheeks, and it went to the back, which is not bad. It's a lot different in the tonic. Put it in some gin, put the gin in some tonic, over some ice, and sip it. It's like Sprite with hidden alcohol. It's like a high-end, quality, artisanal, crafted Sprite with hidden alcohol. As my daughter would say, artisanal, handcrafted. Now the cheeks are about a 1, and the back end is sort of flattening out. So this finish is about done. My score for Greenall's, the original London Dry Gin, I'm going to give this a pretty good, strong 4 out of 5. I didn't know anything about this bottle until I saw it on the shelf when I was out traveling. I was traveling for something else. I was traveling for that Syndicate 58.6. And while I was out there, I said, might as well hit some other stores around here and see what they got that's not near me. This actually is near me. I just kind of glanced over it because the section for gin is way in the back. It's even worse than they treat the Scotch. You know, the Irish is always the worst because Irish is always the smallest, and that's just bad. That's just horrible. Please, let's do better with the Irish, please. Me being, you know, half Irish, please. Okay, so the finish, good. My score, good. My fair price, I think it's underrated. I think it's underpriced. My fair price, like I said, I paid under $22 out the door for this. I would probably give it I'd say 25 to 30 would be more befitting. But don't go changing prices just because I said I would pay that much. Just so you know, that's the way it is. Okay? Sometimes these shops, these independent shops, they will watch your reviews. And they will see how much an average person like us would pay for their bottles. And then they raise prices accordingly. Bastards. Anywho, buy again. I would definitely consider buying this again. But like I said, there's a pink, there's a blue, and there's a black. Now, I think the pink is probably, I forget what it was, raspberry. And the blue one was blueberries or something. I'm not sure. It's berries of sorts. And the black is probably a more premium, probably 46 with the extra special stuff in it. But there it is. Let me know what you think about Greenall's gin. And as always, thanks for stopping by at Mr. Randy's Wine and Spirits. This was a really good one.